Welcome you to another deep dive. Today we're really plunging into the tech world as it stands, June 2025. We've gathered insights from all over, scientific reports, industry leaks, even just chatter on social media. And our mission, really, is to cut through all that noise, get you the essential nuggets you need to, well, be properly informed about what's happening.
Yeah, the pace right now is just incredible, isn't it? And what's often most fascinating, I find, is how things that seem totally separate, fundamental physics over here, consumer gadgets over there,
Yeah.
how they actually connect and influence each other. So yeah, we'll try to help you see that bigger picture, distill the so what behind it all.
Okay, perfect. Let's unpack this then and maybe start with something that sounds, well, straight out of science fiction, quantum advancements. I mean,
Mm.
physicists at the University of Colorado Boulder, they've done something that people thought was nearly impossible. They developed a quantum device. It uses these ultra-cold rubidium atoms,
Ultra cold atoms?
yeah, right, to measure 3D acceleration. And just quickly, for anyone not familiar, these ultra-cold atoms, they're cooled to near absolute zero.
Which makes them incredibly stable, incredibly sensitive.
Exactly. Perfect for these kinds of precision measurements.
And the immediate implications there are, well, pretty significant. This breakthrough really means we're on the verge of sensors that are so precise, they could genuinely revolutionize fields we might not even connect to quantum physics right now.
Like what, for instance?
Well, think about navigation for autonomous vehicles, right? Getting centimeter accuracy without GPS. Or maybe even early disease detection.
How so?
By sensing tiny physiological changes that, current tech just completely misses, it's that sensitive. And if we zoom out just a little bit, there's also this novel photonic quantum circuit.
Photonic meaning light-based.
Exactly, using light particles in these tiny circuits. And it's shown that even small quantum computers can significantly boost machine learning performance. So you start to see this powerful synergy emerging, like quantum power really turbocharging AI.
Okay, speaking of AI then, let's pivot to its creative side, its
Mhm.
creative muscle. China's Tencent has introduced an AI that can apparently generate cinematic quality 3D assets.
Mm.
What does that actually mean for industries like, say, film or gaming?
Oh, it's huge for content creation, really huge. I mean, studios could potentially slash the time, and importantly, the cost of making complex virtual environments or characters, props, you name it.
So instead of artists spending weeks,
Exactly. Imagine needing a super detailed digital city for a game or a movie. An AI could potentially draft a version in days, not weeks or months. It could really democratize high-end content creation.
Mhm.
Smaller teams making things that look like blockbuster productions. It's pretty exciting.
Okay, so while AI is creating, it's also navigating some new legal territory. There was a pretty significant court ruling recently favoring Anthropic, and it suggested AI companies might be able to train their large language models, the engines behind things like ChatGPT, on copyrighted works that they legally obtained, but without needing the author's consent.
Yeah, and this raises a really fascinating and honestly crucial question. What are the broader implications of a ruling like that for AI development for creative industries?
Right.
It could potentially reshape how AI development happens by lowering a massive legal barrier.
Which could mean faster innovation.
It could definitely accelerate innovation. But on the flip side, it absolutely sparks these vital debates around intellectual property, creator rights.
It's complex.
Very, and it's a prime example of why critical thinking is just so essential here. These legal and tech spaces are moving so fast. These decisions will really define who benefits from and who controls the next wave of AI.
And beyond the legal stuff, AI itself is just constantly evolving, right? The core systems.
Yeah.
I saw a post on X about OpenAI launching a podcast, actually. CEO Sam Altman was talking about the GPT-5 timeline, along with other AI news from Midjourney, Google. And then separately, Google revealed Android 16. They're calling it their biggest update ever. Significant new features promised. How did these two things connect? Or what's the takeaway? They seem quite different.
Well, what's clear is just that relentless pace of iteration, isn't it? On one hand, you've got the push for these ever more powerful AI models like GPT-5, aiming for new levels of understanding and generation.
Right, the big brain stuff.
Yeah. And then on the other hand, Android 16 shows how those advanced AI capabilities are quickly getting baked into our everyday devices, making our smartphones smarter, more personalized. It's about bringing that cutting-edge AI right into your pocket, essentially.
Okay, these high-level advances are fascinating, but let's bring it down to earth a bit. What about the tech we actually, touch and use every day? Let's shift gears to some of the new gadgets for 2025. See how these big trends trickle down. Starting with audio. Headphones.
Always a popular one.
Sony's got a new flagship, the WH-1000XM6s. Features listed include a faster processor, improved active noise cancellation, get this, with 12 mics,
12 mics, wow.
and enhanced sound quality with new drivers, upscaling tech. Then, maybe slightly more niche, the Dolly IO12 headphones, now in mocha gray. They feature the soft magnetic compound technology SMC for low distortion.
Okay, so with headphones, we're seeing this clear push for two things, really. Ultimate silence and kind of pristine audio fidelity. Sony's approach with that faster processor and all those mics, that suggests truly dynamic noise cancellation. It can adapt to your surroundings with like incredible precision, almost like a personal sound bubble.
Right.
And Dolly, using that SMC tech, that's all about audio purity. Reducing distortion lets the drivers reproduce sound much more clearly, more accurately, truer to the original recording.
Makes sense. Okay, moving to visuals. TVs are getting upgrades too. TCL's 2025 QM8K mini LED TVs. They're boasting crisp glow technology for better viewing from an angle, off-axis viewing,
Yeah, that's a common problem.
and a zero border design. Roku's also upgraded its Plus Series TVs, QLED panels now, mini LED backlighting, and they've added something called Smart Picture Max for scene-by-scene optimization.
Yeah, these developments really highlight that ongoing quest for just more immersive, more vibrant viewing, don't they? Mini LE and QLED, that's all about getting those deeper blacks, brighter, more accurate colors, basically trying to bring cinema quality home.
Okay.
And that crisp glow tech you mentioned tackles that issue of picture quality dropping off when you're not sitting right in the middle.
Right, so everyone on the couch gets a good view.
Exactly. And Smart Picture Max sounds like it takes things further by tweaking the picture automatically based on the content, so every scene looks its best without you fiddling with settings.
Got it. And what about smartphones? Always a hot topic. The rumor mill is suggesting Samsung might be planning a tri-fold smartphone.
Trifold, wow.
Alongside the usual suspects, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7. Meanwhile, the next iPhone, the 17, is expected to feature a slightly larger display. What do these shifts, some subtle, some maybe not so subtle, tell us?
Well, it's all about pushing the boundaries of screen real estate and, I guess, adaptability. Samsung's rumored trifold. Yeah, that's probably not just a gimmick, right? It's an attempt to give you a screen that's almost tablet-sized but still fits in your pocket.
Right, morphing to fit the need.
Exactly. Your phone transforms.
Yeah.
And the iPhone's slightly larger display, while it seems minor, it's part of that continuous trend. Maximize the screen without making the phone huge. We just consume so much visual content on these things now. It's about getting more screen, maybe in more flexible ways.
Okay, so beyond the consumer tech we hold in our hands, there are these broader strategic things happening, business developments. In nuclear and space tech, for instance, President Trump signed executive orders aimed at boosting new nuclear reactor technologies and also restructuring nuclear safety regulations.
Yeah, and if we connect that to the bigger picture, what those executive orders signal is really a strategic refocus, it seems, on domestic energy independence and innovation. Well, by trying to streamline regulations and promote new reactor designs, the aim appears to be accelerating the deployment of advanced nuclear tech, which, could be seen as a way to enhance grid stability, maybe reduce reliance on fossil fuels, and potentially even strengthen national security by securing energy infrastructure. It's definitely an area where policy directly hits the gas or the brakes on tech advancement.
Interesting. And in the pure business world, some big moves too. Apple is reportedly considering a bid to acquire Perplexity AI.
That's a big one.
And maybe more niche, but fascinating. Wix, the website builder, purchased a company called Base44, apparently a solo-owned vibe coder, for $80 million.
Right. These acquisitions really illustrate how value is shifting in the tech market, don't they? Apple looking at Perplexity AI, that's a pretty strong signal about wanting to deeply integrate advanced AI search information synthesis into their ecosystem.
Challenging Google there.
Potentially, yeah.
Right.
Directly challenging Google's dominance. And then the Wix purchase of Base44, this vibe coder, essentially someone super specialized in creating unique emotive user experiences through code. It just shows the immense value placed on highly specialized, even individual expertise in crafting unique digital experiences.
So it's not just about scale.
Not at all. It underscores that innovation isn't just happening at the macro level. Niche talent is incredibly valuable.
And finally, just touching on space. SpaceX had its 9th Starship test flight. It ended with the rocket burning up over the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, tough outcome.
A stark reminder, really, of the risks involved, but also the persistence needed when you're pushing boundaries like that into the final frontier.
Absolutely. High risk, high reward.
So, wow, we've covered a lot. Everything from, the almost unbelievable precision of quantum mechanics through
Yeah.
AI's legal twists and turns to latest headphones, TVs, the future shapes of smartphones.
Hmm.
It's really clear that 2025 is just a year of incredible rapid change across the board in tech.
It really is. And maybe the question for you, the listener, is what does this all mean when it starts to connect? Consider these diverse advancements we talked about, those ultra-precise quantum sensors, the drive for foldable phones, smarter AI. How might these seemingly distinct innovations begin to converge?
That's interesting. Like,
Well, for example, could you see an ultra-precise quantum sensor integrated into a future trifold smartphone, maybe for on-the-spot medical diagnostics? Or how might those AI-generated cinematic assets look on a next-gen QLED TV, perhaps powered by a quantum-enhanced machine learning system?
oh, okay.
What surprising new realities could emerge from these kinds of connections? And how might they redefine our daily lives, maybe sooner than we think? Just something to mull over as you keep exploring this ever-evolving world.